Hey YA nerds, Rue here with another episode of Reading Rue. I am sorry that I didn't update last week, so this week we're getting 2 updates, 2 different videos, 2 different books, so I can make up for it. I unfortunately caught a really nasty summer cold. You may even still hear it today. I might cough or clear my throat a little bit more than usual, so that's what's going on with me. And yeah, so I'm going to continue talking about like LGBTQA books for YA and young adult and middle grade kids this week with these 2 next books. And then I think I have next week, and maybe I'll do a week after that just to make it up to you guys, because I have read a lot of queer books this year. A lot. So I may just continue doing this for the whole summer. I have no problem with that. If you guys want that too, let me know in the comments or tweet at me or whatever. However which way you want to get in contact with me. If you know me in real life, tell me, and I'll keep doing it that way. If not, I'll move on to another topic. I think I'm going to start doing like groups of videos that are kind of similar in terms of theme or genre, and we'll go from there. So today, for my first video, I want to talk to you guys about George by Gino. As you can see, their names right there. This book is a middle grade book, so heads up, it's not a YA book technically, so technically I shouldn't review it because it's not the right, I don't know, age group or whatever. But I think it's important to talk about this book anyway because it covers a lot of really cool issues and stuff. And yeah. So this is George, and I'll read to you guys the plot now. Oh. This is George. It's 195 pages, and it was released August 25th, 2015, so it's not too old. Be who you are. When people look at George, they think they see a boy. But she knows she's not a boy. She knows she's a girl. George thinks she'll have to keep this secret forever. Then her teacher announces that their class play is going to be Charlotte's Web. George really, really, really wants to play Charlotte, but the teacher says she can't even try out for the part because she's a boy. With the help of her best friend Kelly, George comes up with a plan. Not just so she could be Charlotte, but so everyone can know who she is once and for all. So cute. Again, this is a middle grade book, so it's technically for like grades 5 and up to 6th, 7th, so you're looking at like ages 10 and up. So in terms of like my age ranging, which I'll talk about later, but I usually start my age ranges at 12, so that's my excuse for doing this book. So it follows this really adorable little girl named George and her struggle with her gender identity. So that's why it fits in with Pride Month. Yeah! So for my review, this was probably the most sweet, adorable book I think I've ever read in my life. I like loved every instance of it, and you know, you honestly read it, just read it. I don't care if you're 30 years old, 60 years old, read the damn book. It was awesome. I think any age can read it. Yes, it is for like middle grade, but it covers so many things about like gender representation and gender identity, especially in young kids. It is a very important novel, especially since it's written by a trans author. So the author has these experiences and has written about them from like their own experiences in life, and I think it's amazing and fabulous. I really like the whole tie-in with Charlotte's Web. Honestly, I've never read that book. I've only ever watched the movie. Shame on me. But I might have to read it now because of how much George loved it. It makes me want to love it. So I'm gonna totally do that at some point. And you know, I was also really happy with this book because George gets a happy ending. And I feel like a lot of the times in like LGBTQA fiction, it's like rare that that happens, or like the main character who's queer in some way, shape, or form gets like a semi-sweet, like a bittersweet ending, which sucks because like all you're doing is teaching kids that if they're gay they can't have their happy ending. No, it's BS. And George kind of gets, she has her cake and she eats it too. It's awesome. I'm not gonna give away the ending, I just can't. Again, it's a middle grade book, so if you're older and you're reading it, it's a little predictable, but it's so good. It's also a really quick read, in my opinion. 195 pages. I finished it in 3 hours. I don't know if you guys can see, probably because this camera's pretty good, but if you see like the pages, you see how the margins are really big. So it's a fast read. I literally sat at my desk at work, checked it out, read the whole thing, checked it back in, and left and went home. So hopefully my boss doesn't get mad at me for that. In my defense, it's a book that I like to read some kids' books since I work in kids' library. So in my defense, I was doing research. And now I'm reviewing it. So, you know, go pick it up. Give it to the nearest kid. Again, like 10 and up on this one. So give it to the nearest kid that can read it. If you know a young kid who has a high reading level, give it to them. I think it's a really important piece of literature. It's also been challenged this past year in 2017 by some libraries around the nation. It's on the APA's list of most challenged books 2017. So more of a reason to read it, because I feel like when a book's challenged like that, it's more of an excuse to be like, why? Read it for yourself. Read it for any trans kids that happen to be around you. Believe me, they're out there. Trust me. And when you read George's experience, you'll see exactly what I mean. So, pick it up, pick it up. Really good book. Good job, Alex Gino. Good job. Good. You get an applause. So for my tropes for this one, again, the tropes usually just apply to YA books, but because this is a YA review channel, I'm just gonna apply some of them to this. These are tropes that I've picked up or made up or heard from another librarian. They're tropes that I've gotten from the internet or other sources, and if you don't know what any of them are, I will define them down below so you can totally read what I mean when I talk about like dystopian futures and The Chosen One and etc. So here are the tropes. We have wrecking ball endings, broken family units, clueless adults, and only one friend in the world. For my rating of this book, it gets an 11 out of 10. We'll absolutely positively plow through this one again. Really good. Have I mentioned this book's really good? Because it's really good. My favorite part of this book is towards the end. This is a little spoilery. Kelly and George are going on an adventure to the zoo, and I forget who takes them, which is the worst. A grown-up takes them, and the grown-up doesn't know who exactly George is. And when the grown-up comes to pick them up, I think it's like Kelly's aunt or her mom or something like that. When the grown-up comes to pick them up, George is in a dress, and George is being called Michelle by Kelly. And it is like the most uplifting part of this book. Like, I'm getting a little teary-eyed thinking about it because it was so great. Kelly is awesome. I should have mentioned her a lot more earlier. Kelly is so open-armed about the entire experience. When George is kind of like, I think I'm a girl. Actually, I know I'm a girl. Kelly's like, oh my god, now I have a new best girlfriend? This is fantastic! We can wear dresses together! Oh my god! So they get dressed up in these adorable little dresses, and Kelly does Michelle/George's hair, and my crops were watered, my field is growing, like my pores cleared up. Oh my god. It was amazing. Amazing. And really, you should just read the book just to get to that part so you can feel as uplifted as I feel right now, just thinking about the book. So, do it, read it, do it. And again, for the age range, I know I said it earlier that this is a middle grade book, so you can just assume it's 12 and up, but I'm going to say it's 12 and up and even younger than that. So that's George by Gino. Go pick it up. It's, again, small, good book. The hardcover is $16.99. I'm sure the softcover is like $8 or $10. Pick it up. Or go to your local library if you don't want to spend money. I'm sure that they have it. It is a really popular book and it's really good and I highly recommend it. How many times do I have to recommend it before you go out and get it? Go buy the book. Go buy the book. So anyway, that's how I feel about George. As you can see, I am incredibly enthusiastic about this book. I would love more. More. Not even just from Gino, I would love more just in general. So, if you guys know of any books that are like this after you've read it, because you have to read it, let me know. Let me know in the comments what you think about this book, and don't forget to subscribe for more of me being crazy about books like this. And hopefully I will get the uploading situation under control so I stop skipping weeks, because that would be great. And yeah, that's about it for me. I will catch you guys later. Peace out, YA nerds.